Good morning. Can you hear me, guys? Can you reply in the chat? കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? Okay. Okay, guys. So in this section, we'll be discussing about how to do the risk management questions in your exam, AFM. But it's nearly like 1 week left. About mainly in the AFM exam, you know that risk management is a short question. So it's very important to know that what are the tools to be used when practicing the questions with regards to risk management. For risk management question ആണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഞാനിപ്പം നമ്മുടെ തന്നെ specimen exam CBE platformലുള്ള specimen exam 1. I'm doing specimen exam 1 from the CBE platform itself. So the guidelines ഒന്നും ഞാൻ നോക്കുന്നില്ല. So most probably here we are going to start this exam. We know that in the exam we will get 3 questions in effectively. In section A, a 50-mark question, and section B there is 225-mark question. So with regards to this question, we know that the first question is regards to hedging itself. It's regards to a company who is an introduction. The first question, they are giving an introduction about CMC company, and then proposal 1 is setting up a treasury function to hedge the foreign currency and the interest rate risk. So the question number 1 itself is a risk management question. So that's a maximum they can test. Maximum 50 marks in the question I can discuss. And personal proposal 1, additional information, financial details relating to hedging purpose. So they will be giving extracts for each and every situations. So you should be used to with it. About AFM, first time make sure that at least you have go through this particular platform. കാരണം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു നോർമൽ റിവിഷൻ കിറ്റിൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലെ സിംഗിൾ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ കാണത്തില്ല. സോ each requirements or each extracts discuss about different requirements. So should be very important that you should be familiarized with that platform. കാരണം the same time ഈ extracts അതേപോലെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ട ആൻസറിന്റെ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമും യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കണം. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചിലപ്പോൾ ഒന്നിൽ കൂടുതൽ extracts നിങ്ങൾക്ക് at the same time വ്യൂ ചെയ്തതുകൊണ്ട് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും. So you should be really get used to with it. അപ്പോൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം ചെയ്യുന്നവരാണെങ്കിൽ you may find it the difficulty കാരണം ഒരു continuity കിട്ടത്തില്ല while reading the question. So make sure that sometimes even we have to open up 2 or 3 extracts together at the same time to get the details. Then the proposal 2 is setting up an international branch with production facilities and sales team and response to the proposals of the view of non-executive directors of 2 proposals. So it's a 50-mark question. First of all, just read the requirements. So what are the requirements here? Advise CMC on an appropriate hedging strategy to manage the foreign currency exposure of US payment in 4 months' time and show all relevant calculations, including the number of contracts to be bought and sold in the exchange traded derivative. So we all know about the risk management area. Foreign currency exchange, it will be either interest rate risk management. So the first question is talking about what are the strategy you have to adopt. Different risk management techniques. We have different types of risk management techniques to be followed for hedging currency exchange rate risk. So what are the different currency exchange rate risk methods? And the hedging method, what are the different hedging methods we have? What are the different hedging methods we have for hedging currency risk? Can you reply in the chat? We have forward contracts, then MMH, futures, that options, multilateral netting, and currency swap. So currency swap was not a hot topic in your previous past papers, but it got started to get tested very recently, maybe from the March 2021, in almost in every sittings in any of the scenario. Like we know that already it will be a 3 set of questions. So in any of these sets, they have tested the currency swap area. So even nowadays, we have to focus on the currency swap also. So in general, these are the main areas that can test from the currency risk management. It could be forward contract or money market hedging, or it can be related to currency futures or option, then the multilateral netting area, then the currency swap. So these are the different hedging strategy available to us. So as a student, you should be familiar with all these hedging techniques. So today we'll be discussing just about this question specifically. I won't be discussing about the concepts of each and every methods. Okay, so if you are for that, like if you want to have a revision over each and every methods in detail, like I'll be sharing the small description video about each and every concepts and the technicalities behind these hedging methods in the Eximus app itself. So you can just go through it, and if you have any doubts, you can clear it from there. So I won't be explaining the theory stuff today or any concepts related to any of this hedging techniques, but whatever which is required for this particular question, we'll discuss while doing it. Okay. അല്ല നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും തിയറിയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഹെഡ്ജിങ് മെത്തേഡ്സിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും അഡീഷണൽ നോളജ് വേണമെങ്കിൽ the short videos will be uploaded soon by today itself at the end of the day. So we can just go through it. Okay. In the revision fees, we will be uploading a separate section, risk management. We can just go through it. Perfect. So that's it. So these are the hedging methods, main hedging methods. So now get back to the question and read the second requirement. Okay, then demonstrate CMC could get by the swap offered by the PNC company. So there's a swap, there's a currency swap, maybe or interest rate swap. So we haven't discussed we haven't read the question. We don't know whether it's a currency swap or interest rate swap. We have to discuss it. We have to read the question first of all. Then calculate modified duration. So that's an area from cost of capital section, and it's regards to the bond valuation part. Okay, the modified duration is something which is there. We have already learned in the investment appraisal section, and its application is coming even for the bonds as well. For calculating the modified duration of a bond or sensitivity with regards to the change in price of a bond or change in interest rate of a bond, how it can affect its share price, bond price. Adellam namukku ee modified duration help you. So that's 7 marks. Then prepare a memorandum for directors of CMC company. We discuss the proposal of one in light of the concerns raised by non-executive directors, and discuss the agency issues related to the proposal 2 and how this can be mitigated. And overall, there is a professional marks will be awarded for section D, because we have to prepare a report or a memorandum there. So you'll be giving professional marks for the presentation structure and logical flow and the clarity of the memorandum, and there's a 4 mark professional marks. So overall, it's a 50 mark question from the risk management area. We'll be mainly focusing on the first 15 marks because that's what regards to risk management. And even our objective today is to discuss the techniques for risk management questions in CV platform, right? So just go through the introduction. Just quickly go through the introduction part. Just quickly go through the introduction part. And as they have mentioned here, the details which is required for our hedging is discussed in proposal 1 and proposal 1 additional information. So that's where they're discussing about the treasury function and all this stuff. But still, we have to discuss the introduction, read the introduction to know our currency, the home currency, the foreign currency, and all this stuff. So just first quickly go through that introduction part. So from the introduction, we get to know that Coca-Cola company is a large listed company based in Switzerland. So Swiss francs, CHF is their home currency. Okay, so that's what we can note it down from here. The home currency is CHF, right? And the next part, recently CME had no intention of, so currently they are importing tea, coffee, and cocoa from countries around the world and sends its blended products to supermarket and large retail worldwide. The company had production facilities located in 2 European ports where raw materials are bought for processing and from where finishing products are shipped out. All raw materials are paid in US dollars, so your foreign currency is US dollar here. Until recently, CMC had no intention of hedging its foreign currency exposure, the interest rate exposure, or commodity price fluctuations. Stated this incident in its annual report. However, after consultation with senior and middle managers, the company new board of directors had been reviewing its risk management and the operational strategies. So as of now, we can say that the Treasury Department was not so efficient in managing this risk. So we can discuss about the role that's going to play by a Treasury management team in order to hedge this risk. So you're a financial consultant hired by CMC company to work on two proposals which have been put forward by the BOD for further consideration. So BOD is a board of directors. Okay. So that's the introduction. So from the introduction, what you have came to know is like it's a very large listed company and our home currency is £6 and the foreign currency will be US dollars. And they used to make all of their payments in US dollars. So obviously it's like going to be a foreign payment. So literally you have to hedge the foreign payment. And now we'll discuss about the different hedging strategies which is available for us in the question. We know in general that what are the hedging strategies available to us from the knowledge we have from this risk management area, but we don't need to apply each and every strategies that you have learned from the textbook. We have to discuss, we have to read the question carefully. That's another mistake normally does by the question, most of the students. So I've seen that, let's say if the questionnaire, like examiner is asking for the futures and option, still the students used to waste their time by doing forward contract and MMS without reading properly the question, properly reading the question. So it will be specified in the question. So from where you will get the data for is the proposal one, setting up a treasury function to hedge the foreign currency and interest rate risk. So the proposal from the proposal one, we may get the details with regards to the hedging methods that needs to get adopted. So now read the proposal one. Just quickly go through the proposal one. So in the second extract, they discuss the fact that the proposal one involves setting up a treasury function to manage the foreign risk and the interest rate exposure. So we have to hedge the interest rate risk management is here, and even you should have a knowledge about the foreign risk management part as well. So the treasury function would be headed by a finance director, the purchasing director, who initiated the idea of having a treasury function, was of the opinion that this would enable her management team to make better decisions. And the finance director also supported the idea, as he felt this would increase the influence of BOD and strengthen its case as an increase of his remuneration. So in order to assist in further consideration of the proposal, the BOD wants you to use the following upcoming foreign currency and the interest rate exposure to demonstrate how they would be managed by the treasury function. So there's a payment of US dollar 5,060,000, which is going to be due in 4 months' time, and a 4-year CHF 60,000 million loan has been taken out to part fund the setting up of 4 branches. Interest will be payable on a loan at a fixed rate of 2.2% or a floating annual rate based on the yield curve rate plus 0.4%. The loan principal amount will be repayable in full at the end of the 4 years. So it's a 4-year loan. Literally, you have to hedge it for a period of 4 years. So that's a tricky part, but still we know the formulas and the basics, so we'll stick on to it. So there's a risk management with respect to a loan. So we have to think from the perspective of a borrower. So your strategy should be from the perspective of a borrower. And with regards to risk management, it's a foreign payment. So we have to think from the perspective of those strategies that needs to be taken as a from the perspective of a buyer. Okay. So we got to know these details. So for the further details, again, we have to go to the next extract. That is proposal 3. So since proposal 2 and 3 have connections, better to open it up so that we can have a link between the two. So the current spot rate is given, which is US dollar 1.603 F per CHF $1. The current inflation rate in the USA is 3 times higher than 600. The following derivative products are available to CMC to manage the exposures of the US payment and the interest rate on the loan. They have given the exchange traded futures and exchange traded options. So what are the hedging measures do we need to adopt here from the current scenario? Have they given any
futures and options?
Sorry, the futures and options, obviously. And are they have given you the current spot rate and the inflation rate. So we can use this current spot rate to calculate your future rates, right? Have they given the future rates for you? The 3 months forward rate, is it given? Yes, they have given a forward rate as well. So the forward rate can be used to hedge this transaction using the forward rate contract. And apart from that, they have given 2 other options. The exchange rate traded currency option details are given, exchange traded currency futures as well were given. So in this current question, we have to use 3 strategies. Basically, out of these methods, we are only going to apply futures, then options, and contract. There is no MMH in this question. So these are the 3 items that we are going to learn here. The forward contract, futures, and options. So just go through the details of these 3 items. And whenever we prepare an answer for this hedging methods, it's not mandatory that you have to use the Excel. Even you can do it in a word processor. So it's not mandatory that whenever it's a hedging question, the steps should be performed in a Excel. there is no such mandatory needs because we are not making any kind of lengthy sort of calculations. The calculations will be very normal, right? So either the number of contract calculation or a division or a multiplication, it will end up within a single step. So it's fine even if you are doing it in a word processor, but you have to explain the calculations there. Okay, so shall we do the hedging of a foreign currency? So we know the payment. So what is the payment? We have already given the extract is already open here. So just take it out. What was the payment? US dollar 5,060,000, right? So it is part A of the question. So we have to discuss what was the first requirement. Advise CMC company an appropriate strategy, right? So rather than how you do it in a normal worksheet or in your rough notes, but when you're literally preparing the answers, you have to give a proper introduction to your answer. So I'm just switching off my cam. So because there is a technical issue. So am I audible now? Is there any connectivity issues? Am I audible? Okay. So here, and write the introduction. CMC company can use following derivative instruments to hedge the foreign exchange rate exposure the dollar payment so what are the options available to us? There is a forward contract. The forward contract was given by which company? By the Pecunia Bank, right? So forward contract has been provided to us by the Pecunia Bank. Then or an exchange traded derivative so what is that? A future contract. And there's an exchange traded option. So first one using the forward contract. So using the forward contract, how are you going to hedge it? How are you going to hedge this foreign currency risk? So we know that the foreign payment was how much? What was the foreign payment? 5 million US dollar. 5,060,000, right? Using a 4 months forward rate. So what was the 4-month forward rate? Look at the information. What was the 4-month forward rate? Is 1.067, right? $1.067 per CHF. So here we have to convert it from first currency to second currency. So we have to divide it. So we have to divide it with that exchange rate. So what was your exchange rate? 1.0677. Isn't it? So what will your payment? Payment in CHF will be how much? It is US dollar 5,060,000 divided by 1.067. So how much it is? It is 5,060,000 divided by 1.0677. It's coming to 473,918.94. Isn't it? So we can round it off to so the value will be in CHF. So it will be CHF 473,915.8.94, or we can consider it as 973,159. So is it clear, everyone? $4,739,159. Is it clear, everyone? Now we have to use using future contract. So how will you do it? So we need to know the strategy. So now when we look at this question, we know that the CHF, the futures are available in CHF. So how will you make your strategy here? We know that whenever it's a future contract, we need to make a strategy. So what is your strategy? There are two strategies available, either sell now. So what do you mean by sell now? Selling a contract means we are supplying a currency. Supplying that particular currency. Then buy now means we are entering into a contract to purchase that currency. So it's very important. It's a very underlying assumption. So selling means we are supplying a particular currency, and buying means we are purchasing that currency. So how to formulate that strategy? So here there are two currencies available in this question. There is dollar and CHF. And we know that it's a dollar payment. So it's a dollar payment. We have to make a dollar payment and we are in Switzerland. So our home currency is CHF. So how are we going to hedge it? So we know that we have to sell CHF and buy dollar, because we need to make the payment in dollars, isn't it? So first of all, whenever you are choosing this strategy, you according to the question, you can just write this to know the fact that which currency is going to sell and which is the currency you are going to buy. So according to this assumption, now we have to choose the strategy. So how are we going to choose the strategy? We have to check whether these futures are available in CHF or in dollars. So here, the futures are available in which currency? The futures are available in CHF or in dollars? In CHF. So what's the strategy you have to take? What's the strategy you have to take? Yes. So the CHF needs to be sold and the futures are available in CHF. So our strategy will be sell now, buy later. Suppose in this question, just for your knowledge, if the futures were available in dollars, what would have been our strategy? Our strategy would have been buy now, sell later. Now, dollar future available, we will buy it and sell it later. And since the futures are available in CHF, how will you get to know it? Because here they have quoted the futures in CHF, the contract size in CHF. Then we can know that, okay, contract size CHF lana, then it's a future available in CHF. That's how we identify whether the future is available in dollars or in CHF. So since the futures are available in CHF, our strategy will be sell now, buy later. So is it clear, everyone, how we have selected the strategy? Perfect. So now we have two different types of futures available here. There is a future which is going to get expired in 3 months, and there is another future which is going to get expired in 6 months. So which one we are going to select here? Which one we are going to select here? Always select the future contract or an option contract in this both scenarios, because we won't get any contract which is made according to your transaction date, whether it's a payment or whether it's a receipt. So in case of a currency future or currency option, since all these futures have an expiry of 3 months, we have to select the appropriate futures, whether it is a March future or a June or a September or a December futures available in the question, on if the dates are given. Otherwise, it will be given in the current scenario. They have told that there's a payment coming in 4 months. So even in respect to that factor, in the question, they will quote the fact that, okay, whether this future is going to expire in 3 months or 6 months or in 9 months, like that, they will give the different options for us. So whenever there is a hedging, we have to select those future contract which is going to get expired immediately after your payment date or receipt date. So which option we are going to select here? Will you select that 3 months expiry future or a 6 months expiry future? What is your strategy? We should select the future contract which is going to get expired immediately after your receipt date or payment date. So which one are you going to select here? Will you select the 6 months expiry future or a future which is going to get expired in 3 months? Either select 3 months select 6 months select. Our payment date is in 4 months. So there is no use if you selected a future which is going to expire in 3 months, because already getting expired. There is no use of selecting it. So obviously we have to select the future which is going to get expired in 6 months, because that's the contract is going to get expired immediately after your payment date or receipt date. So which one you're going to select here? We'll select the future contract which is going to get expired in 6 months. So all of you understood that concept, why you have selected that 6 months future. So once you selected this particular future contract and you have already have a proper clarity about the hedging strategy, so just write that hedging strategy in your answer. Even the marks will be rewarded for it. So how will you explain it? CMC company needs to make a payment, a dollar payment in 4 months time. CMC company so they need to hedge against it's a payment, right? So they are worried about the fact that whether the CHF will be weak and we have to pay more amounts in CHF. Ultimately, when we are buying dollars, do we need to pay more CHF? That's your concern, right? So we are literally concerned about the currency weakening of our CHF. So always, whenever you are whenever you are making a payment, a foreign payment, you'll be worried about our home currency weakening. Okay, so here we are worried about the CHF weakening. We need to select a future contract which is going to expire in 6 months time. And our strategy will be sell future now and buy it later. So we should give an introduction about our strategy as well. Is it clear, everyone? Perfect. But we know that the rate which is given here, the future rate, which is for 6 months, right? 1.0659, but our payment date is coming after 4 months. So can we use this 1.659 as the rate on date of exercise? No, we have to calculate the rate, or we have to predict the rate at the date of exercise, or ultimately at the date of making the payment. So literally after 4 months time. So how are we going to do it? We will predict it using the basis risk method, right? So how are you going to predict it? We know the spot rate. We know the current spot rate is 1.6035, and we know that the expiry date after 6 months will be 1.659. So how are you going to do it? How are you going to predict it? So the current rate, the spot rate is how much? 1.635. That's a spot rate. And we know that in 6 months time, the rate will be 1.659. So we need to know what's the rate after 4 months. So how will you do it? How are you going to do it? How are you going to predict that rate in 4 months time? So literally the difference between this figure is known as the basis difference, right? So check it out. What's the difference? 1.659 minus 1.0635. So the difference is the basis difference. So how much is the difference? The basis difference, the difference between the spot rate and the future rate, how much it is? Point 0.0024. That's the difference over a period of 6 months, right? Over a period of 6 months. But we need to know what's the rate which is going to be at the date of exercise, that is after 4 months. So how are you going to do it? How are we going to do it? So we'll assume that whatever the difference, this basis difference, it will become nil after 6 months. So after 6 months, the spot rate and the future rates will be same. So that's what we learned through different theories, right? For equivalence theory and all. So I'm not going in depth to that part. So we assume that the basis risk will be 0 after 6 months. So how it will become 0? We'll assume that endano difference, whatever the difference here over a period of 6 months, it will reduce by an equal amount per day over a period of 6 months. But ഓരോ ദിവസവും ഈ basis risk കുറയും. So this difference will get decreased so that by the time it reaches 4 months, by the time it reaches the 4 months, the difference will be. So what's the unexpaid basis at this date? Two by 6, right? Because after 4 months, after 4 months, we assume that the difference out of this difference of 0.0024, only 2 months difference is left. So the unexpaid amount will be 0.0024 into 2 by 6. Right? So how much it is? 0.0008. So the 6 months rate is 1.659, and we need to know the rate at this after 4 months time. So how are you going to do it? 1.0659. From that, we will deduct that 2 months difference. So we will arrive at the rate at end of month 4. So it will be 1.659 minus the unexpaid basis, which is 0.0008. So how much is your predicted rate in 4 months time? What will be your predicted rate in 4 months time? 1.0651. 1.0651. Is it clear, everyone? You got it? How to predict the rate? In the exam, you don't need to explain this much. I just discussed about that technique So that's why I've explained this much. In exam, you can just complete it within one sentence. I will just show it now, how to explain it in the exam. It's just for your information. I have explained like this is risk and how this gonna change over a period of 6 months and what's the technique behind this calculation. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear or no? Can you reply in the chat how to predict that 4 months rate? Can you reply in the chat? Any doubts? How to calculate the future rate using unspecified basis? Is it clear, guys? Okay. So we'll look back to your question and we will write our answer. So the predicted 4 months rate. So we have predicted it is equal to 1.0659 minus 2/6 into the difference between 1.0659 minus 1.0635. Isn't it? That's how we have done the prediction, right? So this calculation is enough. You don't need to explain it in Excel now. Is it clear, everyone? So what was your rate? Is 1.0651. Is it clear, guys? Can you reply in the chat, guys? So we got the future rate. So now we have to convert. Now we have to convert that payment. What is your payment? Payment was $5,060,000. It's to be converted. Again, we have to divide it, and the rate is 1.0651. The future rate is 1.0651. So how much is your payment? How much is your payment in CHF? Can you reply in the chat? $45750,727. So you can just do it with the help of calculator. So your answer will be 457 0 727.63, right? So I'm writing it as 2728. So this much CHF. And how will you calculate the number of contract? So we know that this much CHF needs to be sold. We should supply this much CHF, and each CHF, each contract, each future contract is worth a contract size of 125,000. So how will you calculate the number of contracts? The approximate number of contracts will be how much? Will be CHF this amount divided by CHF 125,000. So how much it is? Approximately how much number of contracts we have to enter into? approximately we have to enter into. So it is 475, right? 4750. So approximately we have to enter into 38 contracts. So is it clear, everyone? So one of the basic factor you have to understand is when it's a future contracts are similar to forward. Once you are entered into this future contract, we cannot withdraw from it. We don't have the option to lapse it. We have to go through it according to this rate. Whether this 1.651 is favorable to us or not, we have to go through it. Is it clear, everyone? Now we have to discuss about another hedging strategy, that is currency options. So now with respect to currency options, we have choices. Like according to the rate which you have chosen, we do have a choice that whether to exercise it or lapse it. And we already know the strategy, that is sell now, buy later. So the option to sell CHF. So the option to sell something, that option is known as put option. So now when it comes to the option part, we should not have any confusion. Now we have already done the we have already taken the strategy in case of future. Should be very easy for us. So here they have, if you are looking at the question, we have call options and put option available. So which option should be chosen here? We'll choose call option or a put option. Again, the CHF is 135,000. The options are available in CHF itself. And we know our strategy, it is an option to sell now and buy later. So option to sell, which option we have to take here? We have to enter into put option, right? Is it clear, everyone? Okay, so we discussed this. Do we need to explain it? We have already discussed the strategy, right? So instead of entering into a sell future, now we'll enter into put option. So CMC company needs to purchase 6 months put option to hedge against payment of CHF 5,060,000 due in 4 months. Is it clear, everyone? So now in this question, what should be our exercise price? We have got 1.41, 2.16, 1.88, 2.63. So what should be our exercise price here? There are two exercise prices, 1.06 and 1.07, and these are the premiums which is given. So we have to calculate the scenario with respect to 1.06 and 1.07 and check the fact that in which scenario we have to exercise the option or lapse it. Isn't it? So first of all, we'll check if we use the exercise price of 1.06, how the scenario is going to be. So just check it out. First of all, we'll do it for the exercise price 1.06. $1.06 per CHF. So we know that there's a payment. So we're going to make the payment here. The overall amount was 5,060,000. We have to divide it with this rate, exercise rate, which is 1.06. So how much is your CHF? It's in dollars, right? So how much is your CHF? How much CHF will be your payment if you use that exercise rate? $477,3584.9, right? So if you round it off, it will come around 477,3585. So 4,773,585. So if we got the payment in CHF, we have to calculate the number of contracts, the approximate number of contracts we have to enter into. So what's the number of contracts here? What's the number of contract? CHF 4,773,585 divided by the number of contracts you have to calculate. So CHF, which is 125,000, is the contract size. So what will be the number of contracts? $38.18. So literally it is 38 contracts. So if it is 38 contracts, we know that literally by using 38 contracts, are you going to hedge the whole amount? No, because 38 into 125,000 is coming around how much? $38 into 125,000, how much is the value? 4,750,000. 4,750,000. But we know that literally we need to hedge 4,773,585. So what about the remaining amount? What about the remaining amount? It's an under hedge, right? So how will you deal with it? How we are going to deal with it? How are we going to deal with it? If there is an amount which is under hedge, we will use the forward contract. Yes, we will use the forward contract to removed. Okay. So since we know that it's an option, we have to pay a premium, right? We need to pay a premium because we do have an option to exercise it or lapse it. So what's the premium we need to pay? So it is 6 months, 1.06 exercise price. So what's the premium amount? 2.16. So how will you calculate the premium here? So there is 38 contracts. Each contract worth 125,000. And the premium payable is 216. So this 216 is it's in cents. So how will you convert it? So how will you calculate it? It will be 0.0216. So how much it is? What's the premium payable? $102,600. So now the question is whether this $102,600 that you have received, is it in CHF or in dollars? So the result that you have got 102,600, whether it is in CHF or in dollars. Is it CHF or dollars? Because the exchange rate for this premium is cents per CHF, right? And the contract size is in CHF. So as a result, yeah, yes, that's the result. What will happen? So literally, if you look at that formula, we know that it is number of contract does not have any prefix. So 38 into CHF 125,000. Literally, always remember that scenario when we are calculating a price. CHF 125,000 multiplied by exchange rate is in cents to CHF, or if now we have converted it in dollars, so it will be 0.0216 dollar per CHF. So the CHF and CHF will get cancelled, and literally the amount that you have received, which is 102,600, it will be in dollars. So we have to again convert this 102,600 into CHF. Are you getting it? And now the question is, at what rate we are going to convert it? So always the premium will be paid in upfront, right? So this conversion should be happening at the spot rate. So this conversion should happen at the spot rate. So what was your spot rate? It is $1.0635. Is it clear, everyone? Najla, is it clear? So it should be in dollars. So now calculate it. So this amount is in dollars. So now you have to convert this dollar into CHF again by using the spot rate. Why you have using the spot rate here? Why you are using a spot rate here? Because the payment is made in upfront. So the premium which you are going to pay, the premium in CHF will be how much? The dollar needs to be converted at a rate of the current spot rate. So what will be a CHF? How much is it? 96473.9. 96473.9. 96473.9 or 96474. CHF. Is it clear, guys? Now the amount not hedged. Now we have to calculate the amount not hedged. So how are we gonna calculate it? The amount not hedged. So we know that our total payment was $5,060,000. We are using 38 contracts, so 38 into 125,000. The exercise rate. What was the exercise rate? 1.06. So what's the amount that is not hedged? What's the amount not hedged? How much it is? The amount not hedged. The amount not hedged. How will you do it? So it will be 250,000 or 22,500, right? 22,500? No, 25,000, right? So this amount will be hedged using a forward contract. Okay, so it will be $25,000, and we'll use the rate 1 point. What was your forward contract rate? 1.0677. So how much it is? What's the value in CHF? Two three four one four. 23414.8. So it will be 23415. So the total payment. So what will be a total payment? It will be the sum of this amount that he has hedged using forward contract plus the amount paid using premium and finally the amount which is literally hedged using the contract, which is how much? 4,750,000, right? Using the 78 contracts, it was CLF CHF 4,750,000. So what's the total payment? $4,869,889, right? It will be 4,000,000 and then 869. 869. So clear, guys? So the same way you have to calculate it for exercise price 1.067 as well. So you have to follow exactly the same format. Anything which is not heads or underheads or overheads, you have to use the same concept. So is it clear, guys, how to do a question in the risk management part? So whenever it's like a foreign currency transaction or exchange rate part, you can use this format. No need to create an Excel and all this stuff. Perfect. Because the simple calculations can be shown in a word processor. When it's a SAP or any sort of that stuff, you can use a word processor for it. Is it clear, guys? So we have one more option left using exercise price 1.07. You can do it by yourself. I just conducted this section to know that like how these tools can be used, like how easily can you do it, because I have seen students used to do it in Excel and then they mark it there in the word processor. But for foreign currency, this is fine. Even the examiners are approved it. Is it clear, guys? But make sure that you write the explanation. It's not just about this final calculation. You have to properly explain your answer and you will get the professional marks and rewards for it. Is it clear, guys? Can you reply in the chat? Okay. So you can do this portion by yourself, that 1.07 part, the exercise price. I think it's clear, the method. So we can discuss about that interest rate part. Okay. So I think then we'll be able to cover that interest rate risk management as well. So we'll discuss that part. Okay. For that, we'll use the spreadsheet. The proposal 2 is setting up international branches and financial details. So a 4-year CHF loan of 60,000 million taken out for part funding setting up for 4 branches. 3 proposal 2 below. The interest will be payable on the loan at a fixed annual rate of 2.2% or a floating annual rate based on the yield curve rate plus 0.4%. The loan principal amount will be repaid in full at the end of 4th year. So how are we going to do it? So read that proposal 2. So we can keep it here, like we can make it short. So just read that option for interest rate part. So there is an interest rate swap arrangement available with a counterparty where the counterparty can borrow at annual floating rate based on the yield curve rate plus 0.8% or an annual fixed rate of 3.8%. The Pecunia Bank would charge a fee of 20 basis points each to act as an intermediary of the swap, and both parties will benefit equally from the swap contract. So, or the alternative loan payment proposals is also given. So, we'll discuss about it. So, how will you do an interest rate swap? So, here we have two parties, CMC company and a counterparty, where they have given the fixed rate and the floating rates, right? So, what's the fixed rate available to us? What was the fixed rate available to us? Is 2.2% or a floating rate of yield curve rate plus or LIBOR plus, instead of LIBOR they have given a yield curve rate plus 0.4%. And what about the counterparty? The fixed rate is 3.8% and the yield curve rate is 0.8%. Right? So how are we going to do it? How will you present the information for a swap? So we'll use a spreadsheet for it. Okay. So requirement B. So we have CMC company. Can you see the screen, guys? Is it clear enough? Or should I zoom it again? So CMC company, and there is a counterparty. And the interest rate difference. I'm just writing it short, but in exam you have to use the whole letter or words. So the fixed rate. So what's the fixed rate here? For what was the fixed rate for CMC company? %2.2, right? It is mentioned in the question. 2.2%. And what was the floating rate? Yield rate plus 4%. Is it clear? And what about the counterparty? What was the rate? The annual rate was 3.8% fixed rate, and the floating rate is yield curve rate plus 0.8%. Is it clear? So what's the rate difference? What's the difference in the rate? Difference between the fixed rate is how much? $3.8 minus 2.2. So there is a difference of 1.6%. And what about the difference between the yield rate? The floating rate will be 0.4%. Isn't it? So what should be the strategy we have to use here? So what should be the strategy? We can ask the counter CMC company to borrow at a fixed rate and the counterparty to borrow at a floating rate. So effectively, we can receive a gain, right? Gain of 1.6 million, and here it will be an extra cost of 0.4%. So literally, what will be our arbitrage gain? What will be our arbitrage gain? 1.2%, right? So all of you got it? Because we can ask the CMC company will have a competitive advantage if they use a fixed rate to borrow it, and the counterparty can borrow it at a floating rate of yield rate plus 0.8%. We know that it will cost an extra 0.4 for the combination, but still we'll get an extra gain of 1.6 million. So the overall arbitrage gain will be how much? %1.2%. And it will be shared between the two parties. Okay. Can you reply in the chat? Is it clear, guys? The both parties will benefit equally from the swap contract, so that the this gain will get shared. Gain for CMC company. How much it is? Out of which the gain will be 0.6%. And the same way gain for counterparty also will be how much? 0.6%. Is it clear, guys? Can you reply in the chat? Is it clear, guys? So how they're gonna swap it? How they're gonna swap it? Here we can say that the CMC company borrows at what rate? At the fixed rate, which will be how much? 2.2%. And what about the counterparty? The counterparty will borrow at yield rate plus 0.8%. Isn't it? So what's the advantage? 60 basis point. This 0.6%. So as a result, what will be a net result? What will be a net result? What will be a net result? We know that ineffectively the CMC company needs to pay yield rate to counterparty, and the counterparty will pay how much? 2.4% to. So whatever the difference, that 2.4% will be paid by the counterparty to CMC company. So what will be the net result? If CMC company directly takes, suppose planning to take a yield rate, then it would have costed them how much? Yield rate of 0.4%, right? So yield rate of 0.4% minus this advantage of 60 basis point. So how much it's going to be? It will be yield rate plus 0.4% would have costed them originally, but you got a benefit of 0.6%. So effectively, what will happen there? What's the rate they're going to achieve? If they are directly going to take a floating rate loan, it would have costed them yield rate plus 0.4%. Now, instead of by entering into swap contract, they got a benefit of 60 basis point. So effectively, what's the rate they have achieved? Yield rate plus 0.4% minus a benefit of 0.6%. So how much is it? What's the rate they are going to achieve effectively? %0.4% minus 0.6%, it will be minus 2%, right? Isn't it? Can you reply in the chat, guys? And what about this company? If they are directly going to take a fixed rate, it would have costed them how much? 3.8. But now instead of 3.8, out of 3.8%, they got a benefit of 0.6%. So effectively, what's the rate they have achieved? Will be 3.2%. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear, everyone? Can you reply in the chat, guys? So we know that effectively to achieve a CMC company needs to achieve a yield rate which is floated, right? So CMC company pays the yield rate. So it will be 2.2 plus yield rate. That's one of the that is what they have to pay. And the counterparty receives the yield rate. So yield rate plus 0.8% is what they paid, and they received yield rate from CMC company. So effectively, how much they have to pay to CMC? How much they have to pay to CMC company? CMC will pay yield rate. So it will be yield rate plus 2.2% what they paid. So they need to achieve a rate of yield rate minus 0.2%. So how they will achieve it? So effectively here, CMC company is paying 2.2% fixed rate and a yield rate to counterparty, and they actually borrowed at 2.2. So their effective cost is yield plus 2.2%. But we know that they need to achieve a rate of yield plus not yield plus, it is yield minus 0.2%. That's the net rate they have to achieve. Yield minus 0.2%. So how they will achieve it? They will receive something from the counterparty. So how much is the counterparty is going to pay them? So yield rate plus 2% is the current payment they made. So they need to achieve a rate of yield minus 0.2%. So what's the receipt from counterparty? Counterparty എത്ര നമുക്ക് തരണം നോക്കി എത്ര ഡിഫറൻസ് വരുന്നേ to achieve this rate? So what needs to be deducted? അത് നോക്കിയാ പോരെ 2.2 plus yield rate. So from that, what we need to deduct? We need to deduct 2.4%, right? So it will be yield minus 2.2%. So from where you will get this 2.4%? Counterparty നമുക്ക് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് തരും എത്ര 2.4%. Is it clear, everyone? So the counterparty will pay. The counterparty will pay is 2.4% to which company? To CMC company, and CMC company receives this 2.4%. Is it clear, everyone? So that's how they achieve this rate of yield minus 0.2%. Is it clear, guys, how to do an interest rate swap? Is it clear, guys? All of you, is it clear? Can you reply in the chat? Can you reply in the chat, guys? Is it clear?
Sir, could you please explain the 2.4 calculation again?
Like, so we know that effectively we need to achieve a rate of yield minus 0.2%, right?
Yeah. No.
So as of now, we have borrowing at a rate of fixed rate of 0.2, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in order to achieve a floating rate, we are making that yield rate to payment to which company? To the counterparty.
Okay.
So effectively, what is paid by the CMC company right now? Yield rate plus 2.2%.
Okay.
From there, we have to achieve a rate of net effect. We need to achieve a rate of yield rate minus 0.2%.
Okay. Okay.
So that balancing figure, that balancing figure will be received from the counterparty.
Understood.
Understood?
Yeah.
So what happens to the counterparty? The counterparty as of now, in actual terms, they borrowed at a rate of yield plus 0.8%, right? And they received the yield rate from which company? From CMC company. And they are making a payment of
2.4 to CMC.
0.4 to CMC. So effectively, they will achieve a fixed rate of how much? Yield rate plus 0.8% actually they borrowed.
3.2.
And they will receive yield rate from which company?
CMC.
CMC. So yield rate minus yield rate, the yield rate will go. And what's the effective rate they're going to achieve then as a net result? 3. But if the counterparty was directly going to the bank and taken a fixed rate, how much they have to pay? 3.8. So instead of 3.8, now they have achieved a net result of how much? 3.2. So that was a benefit. That was a benefit of a counterparty. And what about the CMC company? CMC company was directly going to take a floating rate. It would have costed them yield rate plus 0.4%. But by entering into this swap arrangement, we achieved a rate of yield rate minus 0.2%. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So, but apart from this scenario, we know that there is a banking fee mentioned in the question. How much is the banking fee? What was the banking fee? Have you noted that? There is a banking fee. What was the banking fee here? The banking fee will be
20 basis points.
So after deducting this banking fee, so what will be the net result? Effectively, we can say that CMC company, now they have achieved a rate of yield minus 0.2%, right? But they need to make a payment of banking fee of 20 basis point. So that needs to be deducted. So effectively, the rate they are going to achieve will be the yield rate itself by the CMC company. So effectively, we know that the CMC company needs to borrow at a rate which is equivalent to the yield rate. And with respect to the counterparty, as of now, they have achieved a rate of 3.2% because of the arbitrage advantages. But they need to make a banking fee for entering into this app. The basis, again, the basis point of how much? What was the basis point? It will be 0.2%. So effectively, we can say that the counterparty needs to pay how much? 3.4%. Again, it's a benefit for them because it is less than 3.8. So as a final conclusion, we can say that the CMC company will be able to buy at a borrow at a yield rate of a rate which is equivalent to the yield rate, and counterparty will be able to achieve a rate of 3.4%. So that's the final conclusion we can give with respect to this question. Clear, Najla?
Yes, sir.
What about others? Is it clear, guys? How to do an interest rate swap question? Can you reply in the chat? And there notes on down. Is there any doubts? For sure, you can expect a risk management question. So it can be in a 50-mark question as you have seen here, or it can be in the 25-mark section. But make sure that you do your best and start practicing the questions in your CB platform itself, so that you will get used to with this extracts, and at the same time we can read the whole question together, even if it's a 50-mark question. So you should be able to adapt to these changes. Okay, guys. So especially those who have got an assumption in F level and writing the first time AFM paper. So make sure that you are pretty much used to with this platform, because otherwise it will be really challenging at the time of writing the paper. Okay, guys. So that's it for the day. And as we have discussed, the more videos on risk management regarding to each and every techniques will be uploaded in the XMS app itself by today. Okay, so if you have any doubts with regards to any of this different concepts behind the futures or options, you can just go through that videos. Okay. Okay, guys, so that's it for the day. Hope you enjoyed. And all the best for your exam. And it's a very important key area for your exam, the risk management. Make sure that you practice it as well. Okay, so guys, that's it.